Reverend Dr. Bian Kim, Principal and Chaplain of Iona College, will now offer prayer of invocation.
Let us bow together. Eternal God, the source of all goodness, discipline, and knowledge, we pray you to bless this assembly gathered to recognize achievement and celebrate life. Bless this and all universities in their quest for excellence. Be with teachers and students everywhere, that an unending search for truth and justice may be awakened in them. Inspire all researchers, philosophers, and writers to provide resources for searching minds. Enable all who discern truth to make the wholeness of the humanity their life's goal. Amen.
Please be seated. Mr. Chancellor, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2006 Fall Convocation of the University of Windsor. Monsieur Chancelier, diplômés, mesdames, messieurs, bienvenue à la collation des grades de l'Université de Windsor de l'automne de l'année 2006. We have the rare treat this morning of having two honorary degree recipients at this ceremony. What is special about them is that they represent two major thrusts of this university, two areas in rapid development that will transform this community and really help put the University of Windsor on the map. The two areas are medicine and automotive engineering, and they're represented here today respectively by Dr. James Orbinski and Mr. Mike Soltz. Many of you will know that the University of Windsor will be opening the doors to the full 4-year Windsor program of Western Schulich School of Medicine here on campus in less than 2 years. In the fall of 2008, we will be admitting the first class of 24, so that the program will grow to almost 100 students within 4 years. Building on the very successful third-year clinical studies that we have hosted here at Windsor Regional and Hotel Dieu Grace hospitals for the past 2 years. The latter program and our internships have already dramatically increased the number of physicians attracted to and staying in our community, and the full 4-year program will achieve even more. It will also enable us to attract and retain excellent researchers as we build on the strengths we already have in the health sciences, in nursing, and the social sciences. This research, often collaborative with Western, Wayne State, Michigan, and other universities and health centers, will also create jobs and help diversify the regional economy. So keep your eyes open. Construction will start next year for our new medical facility right here on campus, right beside the Toldo Health Sciences Building on Sunset Avenue. The other immediately exciting project is a $53 million Phase 1 engineering building on the corner of Wyandotte in California, soon to be a showpiece for the university and its leading engineering programs. After 45 years in Essex Hall, all engineering students and faculty will have their own home, their own dedicated classrooms, greatly improved student services, and much greater support for research. What's more, the building will be designed as a living laboratory for engineering students and will be an exemplary green building as part of the university's environmental pinnacle and fitting in with its Green Corridor project. These developments are wonderful, but this is about a lot more than just buildings. Everyone knows that the automotive industry that drives our economy is under serious threat from international competition. The world is fiercely competitive, and universities are absolutely central to our ability to be innovative, to find new ways of doing things and new solutions to old problems, and to develop highly skilled people who can compete with the best anywhere. The jobs of the future are overwhelmingly knowledge-based, and all of our young people will need a post-secondary education if we're to continue to be successful and to preserve the wonderful quality of life of which we're so proud in Canada. The quality of life, though, is also more about just more and better jobs. It's about community spirit, about healthcare, about the arts, about diversity, about recreation and athletics. All of these are central to the city and to the University of Windsor, both among Canada's most culturally and ethnically diverse communities, building the multiculturalism that will be the hallmark of Canada in the 21st century. One of the characteristics I most enjoy about being a university president, other than getting to wear this wonderful hat, is the unique opportunity I have to see young people develop and flourish. I'm always amazed how much difference one course, one professor, one research project, one international experience, one leadership position in a club or on a sports team can make to an individual student. The confidence and pride displayed by our graduates is the greatest gift you can give back to your alma mater, and I very much hope that each of you recognizes that here today. Your parents know it, your friends know it, and you should know it too. If you've really taken advantage of the academic and social opportunities offered to you over the past few years, you are leaving this institution a very different person from who you were a short time ago. Build on that confidence. Don't be afraid to take risks and to try out new experiences that you might have avoided before. James Orbinski and Mike Soltz are remarkable people, but it wasn't that long ago that they sat in a graduating class, just as you are sitting here today, waiting for the president to stop talking so that you can come up to get your degree. The odds are that a few of you, too, will get honorary degrees in the future, perhaps even on this stage. Whatever path you follow, we're proud of you, and you should be too. Congratulations on achieving this wonderful milestone, and best wishes for a very bright future as proud alumni of the University of Windsor. Félicitations et bonne chance à l'avenir comme anciens et anciennes fiers de l'Université Windsor. Congratulations.
James Jude Orbinski. "21 years ago, Dr. Orbinski waited patiently for the conferment of his degree, a Bachelor of Science, Honors Psychology, at the outdoor convocation of Trent University. I'm sure that he had great plans for his life, but he likely did not envisage working in some of the poorest and most dangerous countries of the world. 2 years later, he found himself working with pediatric AIDS research team in Rwanda, Uganda, and Zaire. Today, Dr. Orbinski is regarded as one of Canada's leading international humanitarians. On a day when we celebrate the success, his accomplishments remind all of us of our responsibility to those living in less privileged countries in Canada. Dr. Orbinski's nomination was initiated by Dr. Kathleen McCrone, Professor Emeritus in History, and Dr. Sheila Cameron, Professor Emeritus in Nursing. And I would like to read from their letter of nomination, which so eloquently presents Dr. Orbinski's accomplishments. "I can think of no Canadian who connects better to the University of Windsor's social justice pinnacle, and also to the university's growing connection with the world of medicine and internationalism than Dr. Orbinski. One of Canada's leading international humanitarians, Dr. Orbinski was among the concerned physicians who, in 1990, founded the Canadian branch of Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, and known worldwide as MSF. MSF is the world's largest independent medical humanitarian organization. It provides assistance to populations in danger because of situations involving conflict or social instability, and advocates for those populations based on universal medical ethics. Dr. Obinsky was International Council President of MSF in 1999 when the organization was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Dr. Obinsky accepted this great honor on behalf of MSF and delivered the 1999 Nobel Peace Prize speech. Dr. Obinsky began his involvement with international medicine as a fourth-year medical student at McMaster University when he did pediatric AIDS research in Rwanda. While with MSF, he became a veteran of many of the world's most disturbing and complex humanitarian emergencies. Through his involvement with MSF projects in Peru during the cholera epidemic, Somalia, Afghanistan, and Zaire during the civil wars, Rwanda during the genocide, and Zambia during its national immunization program. MSF's humanitarian actions go beyond delivery of medical assistance to revealing injustices and calling on governments to be politically responsible. Dr. Obinsky is much in demand throughout the world as a speaker and advisor on humanitarian action. He is outspoken and passionately committed to the core principles of volunteerism, impartiality, and human justice. His beliefs that access to essential medicine is a critical global health issue, especially for poor people, and that everyone deserves recognition of his or her humanity through access to medical assistance have become major foci of his work. In 2003, he helped establish and became president of Dignitas International, an organization that works with local and international institutions to contain and control HIV pandemic. Recently, he has been writing on medical humanitarian and global health issues while a senior fellow at the Center for International Health, Massey College, and the Monk Center for International Studies at the University of Toronto. It is our great honor to have Dr. James Obinsky with us today. His presence reminds us of our responsibility to those living in less privileged countries in Canada. To borrow a line from his Nobel speech, this responsibility is to seek to relieve suffering, to seek to restore autonomy, to witness the truth of injustice, and to insist on political responsibility. Mr. Chancellor, it is my honor to present for the degree of Doctor of Laws, Honoris Causa, Dr. James Obinsky.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the Province of Ontario, in accordance with the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Windsor, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, Honoris Causa, with all the rights, privileges, and honors here and elsewhere thereto appertaining. Congratulations. Now it gives me a great deal of pleasure and honor to ask Dr. Obinsky to address convocation.
Wow. Chancellor, Reverend Kim, President, faculty, students, and Dr. Frank, thank you for a very kind introduction. This is a great, great day for you. It's also a great day for me. But it's especially great for me because I didn't have to actually do anything to get a degree. But for you, I want to say congratulations to every single one of you. I'm absolutely delighted for you, for your families, for your mothers, for your fathers, for your brothers, for your sisters, and for your partners. This is truly an absolutely wonderful day. So much effort, so many long hours of study have gone into what is actually marked here today at this ceremony. And again, let me offer a heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of you. Now that's enthusiasm. And I also want to congratulate each of your families. Each of your families have carried you here, have pushed you here, have cajoled you here, and have supported you while you're here. And none of your accomplishments here today would have been possible without your own drive, and also without the drive and support of your families. And it wouldn't be possible either without a dream. And that's what I want to talk to you this morning about, is about dreams. Our dreams are our self-portraits. They define not only how we wish to see ourselves, but they also define what we actually become. And for every single one of you who's graduating today, this moment began with a dream. And you have all worked, and some hard, and I guess some not so hard, to get what you will get in a few short minutes after this last and final lecture, which I promise you will be relatively brief. But you must endure it before you actually get your degree. Now, you should be proud, and your parents especially, with their second mortgages for some of you, should also be proud. Now that said, this day marks a great beginning, a great new imagining, and a great world of possibility for you, but also for all of us as a community. Our future rests in what you dream and in what you imagine yourselves to be. You have not just finished a discrete period of guided learning, of study, of debate, of inquiry. You've certainly done that, but you've also done something else. You know something now through the lens of education. You know something of reason, something of passion, something of logic, something of beauty. And you also know something of the world, something of its history, and the struggle that is the daily life for too many in this world. And you know something, too, of dreams, not just your own, but those of each of us, but those dreams that each of us as human beings hold. And you've also learned something of the analytic, of the emotional, and the aesthetic connections that form the fabric of our community, that form the fabric of Windsor, and that form the fabric of our global community. This education will shape the way you see and respond to the world around you, both here and internationally. And it will shape that vision for the rest of your lives. And yet, despite the tools of reason and knowledge that you now have, it is dreams that define what they will mean for you and for all of us. And despite what you now know as knowledge, despite the objective truths that you now hold apparently in your minds, and that you can now apparently discern both in your work in laboratories, with business, and in hospitals, and in government, and in any other of a number of other possible work venues. Despite what you now know and what you can now see and read in newspapers, for example, it is your dreams that will define you, and that again will define us. And dreams are like poems, and they give something more than news. They give something more than mere facts. William Carlos Williams was a great 20th century American poet, and by the way, a great American doctor. And he once wrote in what is one of my favorite poems, he once wrote that you cannot get the news from poems, but men die miserably every day for lack of what they find in poetry. And you now, with what you are capable of dreaming, and if you think of dreams as like poems, with now what you are capable of dreaming, you are now capable of not simply dreaming as a child, but you are now capable of dreaming realistically. You are now capable of coming to imagine the unimaginable. You're now capable of coming to understand the incomprehensible. And you're now capable of coming to predict the unforeseen. And this is nothing less, this and nothing less, is what you now have the capacity to do with what you have obtained here at Windsor. But the unimaginable is not always the good. Like the Holocaust of World War II, the genocide in Rwanda is described as unthinkable and as unimaginable. Well, like the Holocaust, the genocide in Rwanda, the killing fields of Cambodia, the genocide of Armenians at the beginning of the 20th century, these were imagined. They were spoken about. They were planned. And they were thought through, and by some very many people. And they were thought through long and hard before they were actually enacted. And two, they were well understood, and they were witnessed by others, by states, as these events were happening. Your education, I hope, will have prepared you with the tools to begin to understand and to challenge the unspeakable and the unimaginable. And genocide is but one example of that. Today, who would have imagined that torture would be used by Western liberal democratic states to pursue their own well-being? Your well-being and mine. Who would have imagined that in the name of security, we would allow our own citizens, citizens of Canada, to be tortured by others? And who would have imagined that we are capable of such things? We must imagine the unimaginable, even that which is horrible, and we must act against it. And we must also imagine not just the horrible, but the good, the possible, what it is possible to actually create. And we must not let those good dreams, those good imaginings, rest in silence as quiet, unfulfilled passions. Acquiescent silence from the medical profession, my profession, the pharmaceutical industry, and from powerful governments has killed and is killing millions of people around the world who are dying from treatable infectious diseases. Millions die every year from diseases like AIDS, African sleeping sickness, and malaria. And more than 95% of these deaths are in the developing world. The worldwide spread of AIDS, for example, is rampant, and it is literally out of control. And since its beginning, well over 35 million people have died. 42 million people now live with HIV around the world, and 95% of those 42 million people are in the developing world. And some of the most conservative epidemiologic estimates suggest that by the year 2020, which is a mere 14 years from now, upwards of 500 million people may be infected with HIV. Now today in Africa alone, there are 13 million children who are orphans because of HIV. And there are 28 million people who live with HIV. And in some African countries, education systems, civil administrations, health services, agricultural systems, systems of governance, civil bureaucracies, all of these things teeter on the verge of collapse because of AIDS. Life expectancy in the southern region of the continent of Africa has dropped from 62 years to less than 45 years of age because of AIDS. And the problem is not just an African problem. The fastest rate of increase in the spread of HIV is not in Africa. The fastest rate of spread in the increase of HIV is in Eastern Europe, it's in Russia, it's in China, and it's in India. Today, the HIV epidemic is actually the worst epidemic in the history of the world. And that is not an overstatement. It is worse than the Black Plague of the 14th century. The difference between the Black Plague of the 14th century and the plague of AIDS in this century is that the Black Plague was an untreatable infectious disease. AIDS is a treatable infectious disease. We have the treatment, we have the knowledge, but we have not yet found a way to make sure that every single human being on this planet who is living with that disease has access to the benefits of that knowledge. In 2001, the cost of patented drug therapy for HIV was $15,000 US per patient, per treatment, per year, for a single person. And at that price, you can be absolutely sure that only a handful of people are treated. Those who those who themselves or through their governments can pay for treatment. Now, HIV is not just another epidemic. It is, in fact, a global catastrophe that is a political obscenity, because it is political choices that determine who gets what when. And in this particular instance, we're talking about medicine. In my view, and I've spent most of my life now working with this particular worldview, people, you and me, and particularly people with knowledge, and particularly people with the responsibility of knowledge, we have a responsibility to imagine a different tomorrow. We have the responsibility as well to work to make that tomorrow a reality. We have a responsibility to speak the truth as we know it, as we see it, as we imagine it, and demand not, for example, piecemeal drug donations or charity, but real political change that makes access to essential medicines and health care, and especially the right to exist, a reality, and not simply comforting political rhetoric. Now, in the last 6 years, Médecins Sans Frontières, or Doctors Without Borders, and a range of other organizations have been highly successful in generating global generic competition, and therefore in bringing down the market price of antiretrovirals from $15,000 US per patient per treatment per year to less than $200 for generic versions of the same medications. And that has meant that millions of people now in the developing world have at least a hope in hell that they will be able to survive. And that has come about through organized, intelligent analysis and organized, intelligent action, and based on a dream. Now, this same coalition has forced a political interpretation at the World Trade Organization, no less, that gives primacy, for the first time in human history, that gives primacy to public health interests over trade interests. And in Canada, that same coalition has worked to take what is a very bad bill, Bill C-9, that allows in principle for export of generic versions of patented medicines to the developing world, has taken elements of that bill and has improved that bill, and has also forced government, the current government, to commit to re-examining the efficacy of that bill. And these are not easy actions, but they are absolutely necessary actions. And they are actions that are based on imaginings, that are based on a dream, that are based on what we can be as human beings. And medicine, education, business, academia, whatever work you do, these are not just about efficiencies, rationalities, and technical perfection. They are certainly about these, but they must firstly be about who we are as human beings, about basic human dignity, and how you imagine that to be, and how you imagine what form that conception of the other will actually take. And now that you are degreed citizens, you will make choices every single day about how you will live your life, about what you will do with what you now know. And I urge you to dream big. And I urge you to imagine, not just for yourself, but for all of us, what we can be, and to work to create it. And let me close by noting that the economist Amartya Sen has argued that poverty is not simply about economics, but it's also about a fundamental lack of freedoms. It is about the choices of we privileged few, and we are now a privileged few. You are now among a very, very privileged elite in the world. Less than 1.5% of the world's population holds a post-secondary education. You are among that population. And some of you are even more privileged. You are today being granted master's degrees and PhDs. There is a deep, deep responsibility with this. Imagine a better world. Imagine what you can do, what you can bring with what you now know to the world. Amartya Sen said that it is about the choices of we privileged few. It is about how we use our liberty. That is what freedom is about. And we are free to use our liberty in whatever way we choose. And I ask you, in fact, I beg you, to use your liberty, to use your knowledge, and to use what you now have, to dream, and to dream realistically, and to make the world a better place, because it is possible to do that. And finally, I just want to close by saying that humanitarianism, as I have known it, and as I have tried to practice it, is not simply about an unattainable ideal for the citizen or for the human being. It is the starting point that must not allow for political responsibility to be reduced to, for example, mere charity. And when you're called to speak, when you know something, when you see something that in your gut turns you and makes you feel that something is wrong, that's when you are called to speak. When you feel that, you must meet that responsibility. You must speak as a human being, not simply as a scientist, not simply as a doctor, not simply as an economist, but begin from that space, that place where you feel yourself as a human being. Speak from there and imagine from there, and you will imagine and you will do great things. I wish you luck. Thank you very much for this honor.
Mr. Michael G. Souls. Born in Hunter, Ontario, Mr. Souls moved to Windsor in 1942. After completing his technical training, he worked in Windsor for 7 years, after which he moved to an engineering firm in Dearborn, Michigan, and he worked there for 3 more years. But by then he realized that he could do more in manufacturing and started his own business. That is how the Valiant group of companies started as a very small tool shop in 1959. It was incorporated in 1962, and as we all know now, that it is headquartered is right here in Windsor, Ontario. It is very clear that Mr. Souls not only had the knowledge and skills in engineering and manufacturing, he also knew the business sector very well. He made tough decisions and set ambitious targets for his company, and the results are obvious. Valiant now operates 17 facilities located in Canada, United States, Mexico, Germany, Belgium, and Slovakia. It now employs no less than 1,200 people. Today, Valiant is a fully integrated manufacturer supplying automated production systems, industrial parts cleaning systems, plastic injection systems, and casting production tooling for automotive and aerospace industries. Most recently, the Valiant Corporation and the Ontario government joined in a partnership to invest in the training of people like you who could contribute in the development of Canada's most innovative, flexible, automated production systems for the automotive sector. All these could not have been possible without Mike's talent, vision, energy, and drive. Mr. Souls lives in Windsor with his wife, Doreen. They have 4 sons who are all here, and they are actively involved in the leadership role within the company. We are very pleased that they could join us here today. Mike has served the community very well through his philanthropy and through his participation on the boards of many nonprofit organizations, educational institutions, and industries. He served on the board of directors of the Industrial Research and Development Institute, the Greater Windsor Community Foundation, the National Bank of Canada's Regional Advisory Board, the Canadian Tool and Machining Association, being the past president, the Windsor-Essex County Development Commission, St. Clair College of Applied Arts and Technology, the Ontario Casino Corporation, Monitoring Committee, the Industrial Resource Centers, and many others. He is also a member of the Windsor and District Chamber of Commerce, the Canadian Tooling and Machining Association, and the Initiative for Automotive Innovation, a distinguished list indeed. One of the inaugural winners of the Charlie Clark Award for Community Service, Mike has dedicated his time to numerous community fundraising events and causes. He is the past recipient of the Philanthropist of the Year Award from the Association of Fundraising Professionals. Mike also has received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Windsor and District Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Souls is an ardent supporter of the University of Windsor. He was co-chair of the University of Windsor Automotive Capital Campaign to establish the university as a global leader in automotive research and development. An advocate for increased collaboration between industry, academia, and government, Mike has been a founding member of the Initiative for Automotive Innovation. I strongly believe that the contributions made by Mr. Souls, the overall economy of Windsor and that of Ontario and Canada, is immense. It is for these reasons and many more, Mr. Chancellor, that I present to you Mr. Michael G. Souls for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the Province of Ontario, and in accordance with the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Windsor, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and honors here and elsewhere thereto appertaining. Congratulations, Mike. Now it gives me great personal pleasure to call on Dr. Souls to address convocation. Doctor?
Chancellor Lumley, President Dr. Ross Paul, members of the faculty and administration, Board of Governors, graduates, alumni, family, and friends. It is a sincere honor to be here today to accept this honorary Doctor of Laws degree from the University of Windsor. And I want to thank Dr. Biswas for that gracious introduction. Thank you. Today, as I stand before you, a magnificent and impressive group of graduates who have worked so hard to earn your degrees, I am impressed by your commitment to your educational goals and for succeeding during a time where it seems that taking the easy road is often too convenient of a choice for many young people. All of you should be deeply proud of what you have accomplished, and I congratulate you, your teachers, professors, and your parents for the tremendous efforts in helping you reach such an important milestone in your lives. I also stand here humbled, as I'm not a university graduate. Being bestowed such an honor and to be counted among those who have been recognized before me is something for which I am truly grateful. Many of you graduating today were born in the mid-1980s. When we think back to that time, we realize just how much our world has changed. Today, we live in a period of even greater transition. Technology is more advanced and sophisticated. Economies and cultures have become more closely integrated. And there are endless global opportunities. For those who are willing to work hard and develop the passion to lead our country and society towards the next millennium. However, despite this rapid growth and change, I believe there are a number of fundamental values that will always remain constant. Throughout my career as a student and business owner, values such as respect, discipline, responsibility, and work ethic have always formed the foundation of most successful students and business professionals. These values, often referred to as basic family values, were not only expected, but were at times demanded. Today, the business community still expects the same values in each and every one of us. 50 years ago, as a young man, starting both my career and a young family, I was faced with many challenges that tested my limits as an individual, both professionally and personally. Today, I offer you some of the lessons which I have used as foundation for success as an entrepreneur and to continually better my family and my community. Integrity and honesty in making decisions with the foresight of how these decisions will impact others is absolutely fundamental. Whether you are an engineer, a nurse, a researcher, or teacher, you have control over your actions, professionalism, and decisions. Choose to do the right thing and treat others with respect. Integrity and self-respect are two things that can never be taken from you. Commitment and passion. Be committed and passionate in what you do and demonstrate that passion with excitement in your daily work. Use this enthusiasm to drive change and to set the bar higher than those who came before you. Choose to make a difference. Commit to a journey of lifelong learning. Be prepared to continuously learn new things, accept new ideas and innovations, and stimulate your internal curiosity about the world and your place in it. Be willing to share your talents and successes with everyone. Use this to better yourself and your community. Establish your goals. Choose a place to work or something to be involved in that for whatever reason challenges you. Set goals and priorities that you believe in and develop a plan for success and achievement. Look for a job that provides fair wage, but more importantly, you should focus on long-term opportunity as well as personal and professional growth. Never underestimate your potential to grow and learn. Believe in yourself. Don't worry whether or not you have the right skills for the job or how much money the job pays. Focus on what interests you and ask, am I happy in this job? And be honest with yourself. And give back to your community. Community service is not just about making a donation. It is about making a difference in the lives of people. It is about improving the standard of living for your neighbors, for yourself, for your families. Get involved and make a difference. Create a legacy for yourself. Choose to be a leader in your own lives and lives of others. Many of the things you will face in the future have not been studied, as they do not yet exist. If there is one constant in this universe, it is change. Use this to your advantage. Use this to motivate yourself to challenge existing paradigms, generate new ideas, and improve your quality of life. The value that your degree provides lies not so much in its subject content, but rather in its demand that you pursue new ideas and ways to make society a better place for everyone. You have gained much knowledge, which will enable you to continue the journey of lifelong learning. Learn to think critically and express your point of view with confidence. As you embark upon your professional lives, you will further discover your talents and capabilities. Continue to be curious about the world around you. Be confident in who you are and stand by your decisions. Do not be afraid of failures. They are bound to happen. I say this from personal experience. In December 1958, I purchased a small machine shop, and within a month, I was told that I had to move because the building was being sold. With almost nothing in the bank, I understood the gravity of the situation. I was essentially out of business. However, I just couldn't accept this failure so early in my career. I had just started. Within a week, I was able to find a partner, and shortly after that, a new home for my shop, and was able to reestablish the business in February of 1959. It was out of this humbling experience that Valiant Corporation was born. I did not give up when it would have been easy to do so. Don't be discouraged by setbacks. Use them as motivation to better yourself and move forward. Believe that you can make a difference in the world and make the choice to do so. To all of the graduates, I offer my sincere congratulations and best wishes as you pursue your goals. To the University of Windsor, again, thank you. This is an honor to me, my family, and my friends. Thank you very much.
In a moment, I will introduce a very distinguished and accomplished individual who will be recognized for achieving the rank of university professor. But let me tell you a little bit about what a university professor is. A university professor is a member of the faculty at the rank of professor who has distinguished achievements at a national or international level for scholarship, creative, or professional accomplishment. At the back of the convocation program, you will see the list of 31 previous recipients of this honor, only 31 and now 32 in the 20 years of the university professorship's designation. And so we are proud to announce the promotion of Roman Mayev to the rank of university professor. Dr. Mayev of the Department of Physics, please come forward. And now I'll tell you a little bit about Dr. Mayev. And it's hard to tell you only a little bit about Dr. Mayev. Over many years in Canada, Dr. Roman Mayev has proved himself to be at the forefront of applied, industrial, and fundamental sciences. Dr. Mayev has firmly established himself as an outstanding researcher, lecturer, advisor, and entrepreneur. These are not words of praise that come from me, but rather from no less an authority than Dr. Arthur Carty, the National Science Advisor to the Prime Minister of Canada. Dr. Roman Mayev is the National Sciences and Engineering Research Council, Daimler Chrysler Canada, University of Windsor, Industrial Research Chair in Applied Solid-State Physics and Material Characterization. The success that he has enjoyed in this position is highlighted by accomplishments such as the establishment of Testasonics in collaboration with Daimler Chrysler, a spin-off company that focuses on Dr. Mayev's innovative technology, 11 patents or patents pending over the last 12 years, research grants in the same period totaling $8 million, 91 papers in referee journals, 166 conference proceedings, 26 contract research reports, and 8 books. Is that all? It's not all, is it? It's not surprising, therefore, that he received early recognition for his work and a commitment from Daimler Chrysler and the university to apply for a renewal of his chair. His work, which combines the best in curiosity-based research with applied research to meet urgent industrial needs, has been well recognized by his peers. For example, in 2002, he earned the Doctor of Science designation from the Russian Federation Academy of Sciences. He's been recognized 5 times with the University of Windsor Research Excellence Award. In 1988, he won the Pioneer Award from the World Federation of Ultrasound in Medicine and Biology, and in 1987 won the Centenary Ernst Abbey Medal from the World Microscopical Society. He's a dedicated mentor who seeks to ensure the highest level of preparation of students at all levels, including secondary school students, undergraduates, graduates, exchange students from around the world, postdoctoral fellows, research associates, and many visiting scientists. In all, he has personally supervised over 100 scientists, thereby contributing to a strong future for our country. For his dedication to the growth and development of future contributors to science, technology, and industry, and for his many unique scientific contributions to the university, city, province, and country, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Roman Mayev as the newest member of the elite rank of university professor at the University of Windsor. Congratulations, Roman. Well, over the past 50 minutes or so, we've honored the accomplishments of those who have had many years to accomplish them, and we now turn to accomplish some others who have had somewhat fewer years to accomplish them, and I'm going to begin by introducing in a moment those who are the recipients of the Board of Governors medals. And I'd like to introduce Dr. Martin Jarash of the board, who will be the person to give the recipients their medal. These medals are awarded to graduating undergraduate students who've achieved the highest academic standing in the faculties. The Medal for Engineering is awarded at the fall convocation. Also presented today are medals to non-graduating undergraduate students who've achieved the highest academic standings in their respective programs during the 2005-06 academic year. And I'll begin now. That's okay. I want to make sure I get the names correct. Lindsay Jean Miller, graduating in Bachelor of Applied Science, Honors Environmental Engineering with great distinction. Congratulations, Lindsay. Graduating Bachelor of Applied Science, Honors Electrical Engineering, Peter Sheshlia. With the Bachelor of Applied Science, Honors Industrial Engineering with distinction, Tiffany Amber Matuk. Graduating Bachelor of Applied Science, Honors Mechanical Engineering with great distinction, Stephen Michael Demers. And now the in-course awards. Bachelor of Appliance Honors Mechanical Engineering, Brian Richard Nunn. Bachelor of Science Honors Computer Science with Software Engineering Cooperative Education, Dane Aaron Bertram.
Mr. Chancellor, the following are the candidates for the degrees in the Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research. For the degree, Doctor of Philosophy in Biological Sciences, Bobby Dean Ellis. In Electrical Engineering, Thomas Williams. In Engineering Materials, Fang Yu. In Manufacturing Systems Engineering, Ali Idris Mohammed. Manufacturing Systems Engineering, Ayman Mohammed Ashraf Mohammed Youssef. In Psychology, Cheryl Dawn Aubie. Psychology, Ruby Geraldine Rousseau. Psychology, Michelle Renee Carroll. Psychology, Michael Cheng. Psychology, Becky Cornuck. Psychology, Nicola Fitzgerald. Psychology, Sarah Jane Kibblewhite. Psychology, Ho Jin Lee. For the degree of Master of Applied Science, Electrical Engineering, Aram Hamad Ahmed Al-Kholi. Materials Engineering, Mohammad Mehdi Yazdanian. Environmental Engineering, Jennifer Lynn Giroux. Environmental Engineering, Bita Saha. Mechanical Engineering, Snisa Draka. For the degree Master of Arts, Economics, Jinji Liu. Economics, Lin Jin Lee. Economics, Yufeng Liu. Economics, Yiting Wu. In English and Creative Writing, Mary Hominick. English, Creative Writing, Delilah Miriam Kwan. In English, Literature and Language, Christopher Dawson. English Literature and Language, Sterling Michael Prentice. In History, Rochelle Ferreira. In Political Science, Thomas John Babbage. Political Science, Garrick Brian Barker. Political Science, Myrna Adnan Cherry. Political Science, Angela Danello. Political Science, Jillian Hayes. Political Science, David Alexander Henderson. Political Science, Daniela Stephanie Kisti. Political Science, Fraser Alexander Forbes McKenzie. Political Science, Darcy Marie Renault. Political Science, Golznaz Vakili. In Political Science, Basil Yahia. In Psychology, Christopher Dolman. Psychology, Reagan Gale. Psychology, Karen Ip. Psychology, Timothy Compton Johnson. Psychology, Justin Eloise Joseph. Psychology, Kiut Ul An Hassan Khan. Psychology, Bruce Andrew King. Psychology, Kristen Audra Saunders. Psychology, Kristen Naomi Stevens. Psychology, Carrie Lynn Wilson. Sociology, Jonathan Gallagher. Masters of Business Administration, Graham Tyler Andrews. Gregory Baggio. Neil Bishop. Joel Gregory Brush. Clement Chu. Deborah Elaine Clark. John Gillis. Ryan Edward William Dodd. Urosula Michael Brenda. Thomas William Hawkswood. Richard Allen Hyra. Jimmy Jen. George Ketto. Daryl Eugene Lorendo. Jesse Lorendo. Susan Ludek. Siliko Lukek. Brijas Madden. Stephanie Lee Maggio. Omar Malik. Chris Mefford. Stephen McGawkin. David Patterson. Lori Nicole Pesci. Joseph Thomas Sarkis. Peter Renninger. Kevin Guy Susi. Nikki Lynn Suketo. Cooperative Education, Nicole Aldel Armali. Naomi Bernard. Jacqueline Bizaire. Thomas Christopher Boucher. Lucien Bratu. Christopher Patrick Edward. Shen Guo. Kevin Matthew Hookey. Ya-Jun Hu. Shengu Mao. Philip Law. Harold Lennis. Paul Michael Litowitz. Peter Kifrikru Negano. Milo Sneath. Genka Nikolova. Mitel Patel. Melody Joan Roth. Andrew Joseph Stanzel. Brian Christopher Simpson. Cheyenne Singh. Peter Sotavilla. Ying Su. Darren Taylor. Rajan Kumar Thapa. Gregory Robert Constantinos Sagres. Merrick Edward Ulick. Jeremy Richard Valencia. Julia Diane Weber. Barbara Ann Winter. Faisal Youssef. Wei Shi. Baby Su. Degree Master of Education, Jennifer Dawn Sivkar. Alexa Goring. Beverly Hamilton. Jennifer Suzanne Huggins. Dina Salintri. Mary Beth Stouffer. Oscar Silva Vincente. For the degree Master of Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Isaias Naziwa. Master of Engineering, Industrial Engineering, Farsad Hussain. Ruki Wang. Master of Engineering, Industrial Engineering, Zhenming Yan. For the degree Master of Human Kinetics, Aaron Joseph Darun. Matthew Devon. Tom Joseph Hazel. Bree Kruklis. Lisa Ann Murphy. For the degree Master of Science, Biochemistry, Ghazala Shaman. Khalid Elmaz Rati. The degree Master of Science, Biological Sciences, Jonathan Bennett. Lisa Ann Tulin. For the degree Master of Science, Computer Science, Tahira Farid. Mohammed Hassan Ali. Xingyu Dong. Simeon Udupali. Sajid Rashid Ahmed. Master of Science, Earth Sciences, Shi Song. Master of Science, Mathematics and Statistics, Mandan Kumar Balaguru Sami. Corey Pine. Margarita Rivanova. For the degree Master of Science, Nursing, Sarah Elizabeth Harvey. Elizabeth May Seabrook. Virginia Walsh. The degree Master of Social Work, Ashpreet Biln. Catherine Ann Boyce. Jenny Marie Cameron. Patricia Joan Cassidy. Wendy Gotti. Mary Lou Crowan. Sabrina Natona. Michelle Lynn Quaglia. Alexandra Yuzelak Katzenberger. Laura Lynn Ujira. For the degree Master of Science, Computer Science, Dong Liang. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor.
Mr. Chancellor, the following are the candidates in the Faculty of Engineering for the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science. Honors Civil Engineering, Shun Hang Chung. Tina Louise Detour. Michael Feliz. Nicole Alana Gold. Jeffrey James Malott. Chi Fung Eng. Nicholas Joseph Chevalier. Daniel Grenier. Stacy Leanne Shizak. Honors Electrical Engineering, Rahul Agarwal. Iyaz Ahmad Zaid. Hani Munir Alwana. Natasha Bhatia. Mohammad El Shafi. Fatima Ahmad Farhan. Churendran Lakshmikantan. Yusuf Hussain. Ivana Iyaftich. Robert Milosh. Joseph Chukwemeka Nacho. Honors Electrical Engineering, Peter Seslia with great distinction. Aranya Sharma. Salman Aftab Sheikh. Shivanathan Shivajnanam. Ibrahim Ahmad Saror. Erin Ashley Ulch. Sunara Varaich. Honors Electrical Engineering, Cooperative Education, Mohammad Najib Ayub. Honors Electrical Engineering, Rami Hussein Zakud. Honors Electrical Engineering, Cooperative Education, Siddharth Banga. Izio Gregory Colicia. Tren Den. Tarun Joshi with great distinction. Jason Christopher Lariviere with distinction. Ramesh Moradipur. Mohammad Rokon Uddin Rumi. Firaz Salumi. Honors Electrical Engineering Communications Option, Olaf Manuel de Souza. Nabi Jabber. Dorian Rika. Akash Shah. Honors Electrical Engineering, Communications Option, Cooperative Education, Rohan Pradhan. Abhinav Seth. Honors Electrical Engineering, Computer Option, Yasir Bilal. Tuan Lee. David McKinley. Omesh Mutakura. Honors Electrical Engineering, Computer Option, Cooperative Education, Salman Chowdhury. Geraldo Eco Kurniadi Co with great distinction. Honors Electrical Engineering, Computer Option, Cooperative Education, Carl Bernard Leboeuf. Honors Electrical Engineering, Electronics Option, Sophia Charisma Net. Jerome Jose Ebuan. Joseph Jakopich. Honors Electrical Engineering, Electronics Option, Cooperative Education, Joshua Daniel. Honors Electrical Engineering, Electronics Option, Cooperative Education, Stephen Douglas Hillman. Anthony Karloff. Eugene Scott. Honors Environmental Engineering, Valeria Bezjak. Johnson Wing Kun Chuck. Justin Jha. Lindsay Jean Miller with great distinction. Honors Environmental Engineering, Cooperative Education, James Andrew Fedoruk. Trevor Gerald Freeman. Joanna Marie Laba with great distinction. Sean Robert Whitfield. Mr. Chancellor, the remaining candidates in the Faculty of Engineering will be read by Dr. Randy Bowers, Acting Head of Mechanical, Automotive and Materials Engineering. Thank you.
Honors Industrial Engineering, graduating with distinction, Harianto Budiharjo. Kent Derek Myers Patterson. Peter Nectarios Papantonis. Shivaram Narayana Swami. Anthony Voltage. Honors Industrial Engineering Cooperative Education, Brianna Bo Dundas. Nandan Jagdeep Fasdar. Jeff Wei Chung Lam. Stephen J. Lozier. Graduating with distinction, Tiffany Amber Matuk. Honors Mechanical Engineering, Fahad Abdul Noor. Handi Baseri. Mohammed Ghulam Farouk. Jason Anthony Doobie. Antonius Hindi Ganardi. Muliadi Gunawan. Kandakar Rakabul Hassan. Hangyip Tony Hui. Richard John Letts. Christopher Huang Wang Leung. Graduating with distinction, Andrew Michael Liberti. Graduating with distinction, Amitabha Majumdar. Richard James Michaels.
Jonathan Ryan Palmer. Travis Tyler Hewlett. Michael David White. Christopher Raymond Wakono. Johnny Chunyu Young. Joseph Hoyui Young. Honors Mechanical Engineering Cooperative Education, Nathan David Cook. Kang Moi Fu. Amritansu Mahapatra. Honors Mechanical Engineering Automotive Option, Aaron Alexander Axel. Danny Alvar. David Wei-Ming Chen. Shi Zheng. Daniel Edgar Clement. Ryan C. DeBaker. Cardin Frisetto. Stefan Service Evo Doubles. Erhan Gabank. Chun W. Cam. Magic Kowalik. Hook Nam John Lee. Del Rio Artnell Lewis. Brett Anthony Olson. Helen Charlene Jin. Piyush Sharma. Christopher Stephen Smith. Adam Joseph Toblenovich. Scott W. Volpel. Samer Adel Wadi. Peter M. Wensler. Thomas M. Wilbur. Anthony Christian Wilczewski. Haibo Yu. Honors Mechanical Engineering Automotive Option Cooperative Education, Tushar Arora. Rod Jarjiz Zora. Maxwell John Donaldson. Graduating with great distinction, Stephen Michael Demers. David Franco Favreau. Eric Gattoni. Pierre-Yves Girard. Tarun Kanakachkari Kandala. Timothy Brian Kovacs. Graduating with distinction, Yanni Lee. Alexandru Vlad Matesh. Ryan Brody McNamara. Graduating with distinction, Brandon Maloche. Jeffrey Raymond Sylvester. Gaurav Taneja. Neil D. Turton. Adam Nicholas Waits. Lucas Wisniewski. Soon L. Young. Honors Mechanical Engineering, Environmental Option, Brianna E. Issel. Ashley Sharon Koistra. Honors Mechanical Engineering, Materials Option, Ravinder Daliwal. Ranjiv Gita. Smarty Keeve. Eric James Douglas Ronholm. Meryl Rosenow. Stephen Soulier. Honors Mechanical Engineering, Materials Option, Cooperative Education, Asif Manzoor. Craig Joseph Kember. Paul John Adam. Master of Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Makeith Ali Syed.
Mr. Chancellor, the following are the candidates in the Faculty of Nursing for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And with a Nurse Practitioner Certificate, Carl Alexander Sweet. Nurse Practitioner Certificate, Tracy Cregan.
Mr. Chancellor, the following are candidates for degrees in the Faculty of Science. Bachelor of Arts, General Program, Economics, Rob Dill. With distinction, the Executive Assistant to the Vice President and Provost, Ms. Carrie Hunting. Mr. Mahmudur Rahman. Niat Thazin. Guy Feng Wang. Wai Kin Wong. Stephen Sullivan. Jonathan Artali. Mehran Mokhtari. Ashif Adnan with distinction. Ryan Murray. Yonat Trikop. Bachelor of Science, Chemistry, Matthew Clark. Physics and High Technology, Atri Maharaj. General Science, Heba Abukhadra. Stacy Corby. With distinction, Karen Hoyland. Abdikalak Osman. Louis Saman. Google Anthony Thompson. With great distinction, Robin Thompson McAvoy. Stacy Brysima. Honors Computer Science with great distinction, Yufai Zhu. Honors Computer Science, Don Zhang. Kokulan Ramadas. Desiree Dion Walters. General Program Computer Science, Victor Farah. Mohammed Zakir Hossein. Computer Science General, Hongwei Wong. Colin Hutchison. Shahidil Islam Baipan. James Bradley Hall. William T. Bear. Chandra Vanu Majmunder. Henry Yu. Juan Zong. Nazmul Huda. Andy Brandt. Andy Bratt. Master of Science, Computer Science, Garima Gupta.
Bachelor of Arts, Honors Forensics and Criminology, Angela Kristen Buller. Bachelor of Forensic Science, Honors Forensic Science, Jenny K. Paquette. Mr. Chancellor, we would ask you to confer on the foregoing candidates and also upon those candidates whose names have been approved by the Senate and who are unable to be present the degrees, certificates, and diplomas to which they are entitled.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for, right? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the Province of Ontario, and in accordance with the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Windsor, I confer upon these candidates degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which they are entitled. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
Congratulations, you did it. You didn't do it by yourselves, though, as Dr. Orbinsky said. I'd like to ask the parents, children, sisters, brothers, cousins, aunts, all the people that were behind the graduates, would you please stand at the back and take a bow from the graduates? Thanks. There's another group that played a major role, and some of them in particular will be important to you. And I really appreciate the faculty and staff who've come out to help you celebrate. So please acknowledge the role of the faculty and staff. Please stand, take a bow. But when the chips were down, you did it, so give yourself a pat on the back, too. Well done. I'd like to recognize the musicians who add so much to our convocation ceremony, led by Bernadette Berthelot, the French horn, Brian Zanier, Ross Turner on trumpet, Corey Fitzpatrick, trombone, Michael Stone, bass trombone, and Melissa Danese, soprano. Thank you very much. Everyone, after the platform party has left, everyone here is invited to a reception in the back of the hall, sponsored by the Alumni Association Board of Directors. They have a framing service as well. University of Windsor rings are available, and there's a graduate photography service available at the CAW Center. Take time to revisit the campus as your farewell for many of you. Congratulations and have a great celebration.